everyone, Jules here. Today I'd like to talk about a deck that some of you may have heard of, and that is the Greenwood Tarot. It's a tarot deck that I've had for quite a long time, and I thought I might talk a bit about it and show a few cards for some people who haven't seen any of the cards, because it has been out of print for quite a long time. Now, just a bit of background about the deck. The artwork is by an artist called Chesca, and the deck came out in 1996, and I have the original version, but the deck that came out the year before that, also by Chesca, is the Celtic Shaman's Pack, and as you can see it says Chesca Potter's name here, and John Matthews, the very well-known Celtic expert, wrote the book for the deck. Well, the Celtic Shaman's Pack is now available. It got reissued in March this year with Chesca Potter's artwork, so for anyone who's interested they might like to get that. Anyway, this deck came out first in 1995 at the beginning of my spiritual journey, and I was so impressed with the artwork in this deck that I heard the following year, in 1996, that the Greenwood Tarot became available. Here is the original box. It's a Celtic shamanistic deck, and this time Mark Ryan wrote the book. Chesca Potter's artwork again. And there's the book with the Celtic shaman on the cover. And what happened, this was published by Thorson's Publishing, which was a branch of Harper Collins at the time, and Thorson's Publishing went out of business, so that may have had something to do with the deck going out of print relatively shortly after it was actually printed in 1996. And on the box for the Greenwood Tarot it says Pre-Celtic Shamanism of the Mythic Forest. So just before I get into that, I just wanted to mention something that other people might already know, and that is the Wildwood Tarot was based on, or is based on, the Greenwood Tarot. In this case it is John Matthews and Mark Ryan getting together again, but this time the artwork by Will Worthington, which is actually quite a good deck. I actually do like this. If I did not already have the Greenwood Tarot, I would still buy this deck and like it. It's based on the Greenwood Tarot, built on the same sort of format. So that's what happened there. It's not mentioned in the book with this deck that Chesca Potter was approached about doing a reissue for the deck, but she wasn't interested, and John Matthews was already working with the art of Will Worthington, so that's how that came to be. So that's that. Now I'm just going to show you a few of the cards from the Major Arcana with the Greenwood Tarot. The Greenwood Tarot is a really beautiful deck, and it was way ahead of its time. It was the first tarot deck, for example, with the court cards, that had all animals for the court cards. There were no people in the court cards. Now, people might think about the wild unknown these days, which I really like as well, and think, oh wow, you know, there's no people in this deck. But in 1996, this was the very first time that there were animals, and only animals, in the court cards. So that was way ahead of its time. And the artwork is really beautiful too. I'm just going to show you some of the cards from the Major Arcana that I particularly like. So here is the Fool card. It's really beautiful. It's a fool card. This is the Shaman, which is the Magician card, but called the Shaman. So you can see the artwork is really quite beautiful. This is called the Seer, which is the High Priestess. Beautiful owl card. As you can see, these cards are in almost mint condition. I actually stopped handling the deck quite a lot when I found out it was out of print. The condition this deck is in is selling for about $1,500 now, and of course I would never part with this deck. So, quite amazing. The Justice card. Truly beautiful. This card is called Reflection, but it's actually the equivalent to the Hangman in other decks. It's called Reflection. A few of the card names were different in this deck, but it came with a book as well. The Death card. Just love the artwork in this deck. Oh, these are the backs, by the way, if I didn't already mention, it has the Shaman on the back. This is Balance for the Temperance card. So beautiful. And this is the Moon card. So it's a very special deck. Never loses its beauty or its meaning over time. Here is the booklet that came, a rather small booklet, came with the deck. And I might just show you very quickly some of the court cards, just very quickly so you can get an idea. I mean, the artwork is so gorgeous, you know, you feel like showing everything, but it would take too long, but it is just an incredible deck. So, the King of Wands is the Adder. The Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is the Hare, one of my favourites. King of Wands is the Fox. And the Page of Wands is the Stoat. And I'll just see I was going to show some other cards, but it would just take too long really, because they're just so beautiful that you'd be showing every single one. But anyway, I hope that gives you an idea of the wonderful artwork in the Greenwood Tarot, and give you a bit of an idea of why it is such an important and special deck. And it really is one of those decks that was way ahead of its time and is still a very beautiful and meaningful deck. In case you were wondering what it looks like and why do people hold it in such high regard, well, if you can see by the artwork, and the fact that the animal cord cards were the first of its kind as well, you will be able to see why it is such a special deck, and why I was so glad I purchased the deck. I just loved the artwork at the time because of the Celtic Shamans pack that came out the year before, and had no idea it was going to become such a coveted and rare deck. So that's a bonus, but I still love the deck anyway. Okay, well, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.